Hello, Python coders. Here's a problem that has some of the principles that you need to understand from Chapter 2. We're going to write a program here called inches to feet, and it's going to convert height in inches into feet and inches. Well, in order to plan a program like that, you should write some pseudocode. We would like you to do this when you do your assignments. So we're going to write this pseudocode as a series of comments. All these lines that begin with a pound symbol are comments, and the Python interpreter will ignore those when we run the program, but it allows us to put little notes in our program. So in this particular case, the pseudocode, we're going to prompt the user for the height in inches. We're going to integer divide that by 12 in order to get the number of feet. We want the whole number. We don't want a number with decimal places in it. So we're going to use integer division for that step. Then we're going to use the remainder operator and divide again by 12. And that'll give us the leftover value in inches. And then we're going to print the result. So here's the actual Python code. Now I've got the code in a main function here. Def main means define main. We're defining a main function. We have to open and close parentheses and follow that with a colon. And when you press enter after that colon, you'll see that your cursor is indented, and that's how Python determines what's inside of a function. It's by the indentation. And notice that all of these lines are indented to the same amount. They're actually one tab indented. Python wants you to make sure you do that. That's how Python determines what's inside the main function, by that indentation. Now right down here, you can see we have main again, open and close parentheses. Well, this is what makes the main function execute. This runs the main function, or as we say in programming lingo, calls the main function. Just like this runs the print function, this runs the main function that we're defining up here. We would like you to use the main function like this as soon as possible. We know that the textbook doesn't do it initially, but try to get used to it as soon as you can. All right, let's give this program a run and see how it operates. Just press the F5 function key, and that should generate the output here. I'll try 70. 70 is 5 feet 10 inches. You'll notice we got the output twice. That's correct, isn't it? Because if you divide 70 by 12, it will go 5 times to give you 60, and that leaves you with 10 inches left over. So 5 feet 10 is correct for 70 inches. Now we got the output twice here. Once we printed it with strings and variables using comma separators. When you have strings and variables, or a series of strings or variables, you can mix them up. When you have them separated by commas inside of a print statement, a space is automatically inserted for you. Notice here there's no space after the is, there's no space in front of the feet, but when it outputs, a space is inserted. So actually this comma right here, for instance, generates this space in that line of output. Okay, so that's one way to generate output. But perhaps a better way, or another way that we would like you to use, is using an F string. An F string starts with an F, and then I've got my string, using a single quote for my string. And then inside the string, wherever I want the value of a variable to appear, I've got a placeholder, which is a set of curly braces. And inside the placeholder, we put the name of the variable that we want to display at that location in the output. And so you can see it does give us the same output here. Now in this particular case, these values are integers, so there's no particular format being planned for the output of feet or inches. But we certainly can do that. We can control the display of decimal places, for example. But in this case, it's all integers. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit about how to work with Chapter 2.